Hey guys, it's Stormclawd. I'm going to be talking today about working through a slump. So, at the moment, I'm kind of out of it more than anything else. I've got a cold, just recovering from that. Just recovering in general. It's just taking a toll on me. So, we had our first league game for CGP, which is the top 8 teams here in Australia. So, my team isn't in a low rank thing, unfortunately. Otherwise, this would be a lot easier for me. But we're in the top one, so I have to figure out how to play against top level players and still do what I need to do when I'm not playing my best. So usually what my playstyle relies on is me playing fast. So I just like playing super quickly, just being on the ball super quick, reading the play ahead of everyone else, and that's how I tend to play in tournament and whatnot to get ahead of the other players. Because otherwise, it's just my playstyle. It's what I've always done. But when my brain's not working like this, I can't actually do it. So I need to figure out a way that I can. I need to figure out a way that I can get my brain to work better. So I think it's purely just because my brain's working on like two cylinders. So instead of having like seven things I can focus on, I've got like two. I just don't have any brain power right now. And I think part of that is due to my arms getting better recently. So I've been playing a lot more. And I think through playing a lot more, my brain wasn't actually ready for it because I haven't been playing very much just due to my arm injury recently. So when I played, oh, what the hell? Anyway, when I started playing more, I think I actually put too much pressure on my brain. Like if I played more the day before and I played a little bit that day too. So if I really want to play at my best, I think I should be only playing, 2 days before, not actually playing on the day before unless we have scrims, because that's not as many games for me. Because basically what my role is on the team is I want to come in as a sub to try and change up momentum if we're not doing too well. So for me to be able to do that, I really want to be able to play my fast play style. Like if I don't play my fast play style, I don't feel as confident doing that sort of role because we want to change up how our team plays. So if I'm just playing average like I was in our last game, it's kind of there's not much point me subbing in the first place because it's not going to change that much. I mean, in our games last night, I don't think it really mattered that much because we're pretty much going to get flogged either way. They were just a better team on the day. They've got more experience, and we were not having a good day. The problem is when you don't have experience, what tends to happen is you either have a good day or a bad day. So if you verse a team that's got like they've played for a while, right? It's hard to play against them because they're going to be more consistent. So if you have a good day, you're going to be fine, right? You'll be doing what you usually do. But if you don't have a good day, it's a lot harder to play against a team like that because they just have the consistency of having played together. My team's still very new. We're still very much trying to figure out what we actually want to do as a team. So once we figure that out, I'm sure we'll do a lot better. But it's still just a learning process, and the hardest thing is trying to learn against these top teams. I mean, it's a good learning experience trying to learn against these top teams, but boy, is it hard. Like, they don't give you anything. Everything you do, you have to work for. So, some things I want to figure out personally is how do I get up the wall more against these good players? Like, I just find it really hard to get as many wall hits as I want to. So, whether that be I need to actually position up the wall more and get my teammates to pass it to me, whatnot, just different things I need to think about, talk about with my team, practice in scrims. And, that takes time to learn as well, like, when, especially considering I'm not core and I can't play with them, like, every day and, like, ranked and all that stuff. But that's just stuff to learn. I've probably also been playing a bit too much 2v2 recently, which is affecting my 3v3 play, I think. So I need to focus more, especially in the days leading up to a tourney game, if I'm needed for play. I need to focus on being warmed up for 3v3. So maybe I'll do a new rule with myself where I don't actually play any fun games until, maybe a day or two before we have a big tourney game. I'll only play training and scrims just to keep my mind clear. But then what are other reasons you slump? Like, this is for me, right? This is all just on my brain power. So I need to try and figure out what's the best way to get the most out of my brain power. So then, you may be different. You may be slumping because you had, your cat died or something. Your brain's not working, work's been stressful. All these things can affect your play because it's things on your mind. So the best time you play is when you're focused on literally how you hit that ball and where it's going. That's when you're playing your best. So to play at that level, you know, what do you need to do? You need to figure out what's going on in your head to make you play at your best. So, you know, say you're having a mechanical slump. That could be fixed just by actually training more. If your mechanics are slumping, I'd recommend just maybe taking a day or two and just doing a training boot camp. Just like only train. Train pretty much as much as you would have played. And then you'll find when you get back to it, your mechanics won't be slumping anymore. That's for a mechanical slump. So that's pretty easy, honestly. I think mechanical slump is probably the easiest one to play yourself out of, just because you can just do training until you're back to normal. I mean, if you don't do training at all, I mean, a mechanical slump, I don't know, it's going to happen just because your play is going to be so inconsistent, because you're not going to have that consistency that training ingrains into your play. But then, you know, what if it's a mental slump? How do you start to get through that? So, you know, for me, I've found when I've slumped, it's generally because of a change in my mindset that's not good. So, how do I go about fixing that? Or how have I gone about fixing that in the past? So generally, it depends what it is. Like, recent one I had was, I wasn't shooting very well, and I wasn't very happy about it, because pretty much I've been swapping cars quite a bit, and then my technical consistency on the cars just dropped, because I wasn't playing the same ones. Like, when I play the same one, I start to eventually get really consistent in that one car. But I didn't have any of that consistency at the time, because I was swapping a bit too much. So then eventually I picked up the Dominus, and I only play this car. If I play another car, I'll play it for like a game and then swap back. Sometimes I just need a break, like need to swap around and then go back. Okay, this car's still good, you know? But most of the time, just playing Dominus, learning this car. Oh, nearly. Once I start getting the hang of aerials in this car, I think I'll be really good. But at the moment, still not quite where I want to be. But you know, for a mental thing, oh, what was I even talking about? I lost my train of thought completely. For a mental thing, for me it was, I used to think, like, there was a time period, right, where I was like, if I get an open net, I'm gonna miss. Like, I had that thought in my head, like, I was just missing so many of them. And then that's not a good thought to have, because if you're thinking, I'm gonna miss, you're probably gonna miss, because you're wasting some of your brain energy, like, on the fact that you're thinking you're gonna miss. So you're so worried about the fact that you're gonna miss that you miss. So it's about figuring out what in your mindset is going wrong. So maybe try and break it down more. You know, and especially if you've got teammates, maybe you can ask them, like, you know, when am I sounding like, if you're getting negative about the game, like, when am I starting to sound negative, guys? Like, what is causing me to start getting like this? So you need to figure out what it is that's specifically affecting you right now, because there's always a reason for you slumping. Like, at the end of the day, it's all in your head if it's a mental thing. There's something that you're thinking differently that's affecting how you're playing. So for me, it's because my brain just isn't at a capacity to play how I want to if I play as much as I have. I've basically, if my brain's a battery, I've taken it down to 10% and it's in power saving mode. So because it's in power saving mode, I can't do everything I want to. You know, I need at least 50% charge to go do what I want to. So unfortunately for me, that's just how it works, just due to my condition. I can just give you a basic thing of my condition now if you guys want to know. It's basically just like chronic fatigue. A lot of my symptoms are like chronic fatigue. And then, so I'm pretty sore most days. Like at the moment, my stomach is just really, really sore. I've been doing a bit of volleyball training just to try and stretch out my arms, but it seems to have, I think I might have pushed a bit too hard on backward sets, and it's like affecting my stomach, so I might need to work on not doing backward sets from so far away, because that's what's going to push my stomach muscles more. So I'll probably work on that. But it's all about finding a balance of everything, right? Like, at some point, if you're slumping, it's got to be something to do with how you're doing. The best advice I can give is just practice, 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 and figure out what it is in your head. You know, even if it's something in your head, like, you know, I miss open goals. I just practiced striker training until I stopped missing in striker training, and then I found I started doing better in game. And it wasn't all just because like, it was actually a lot of the mindset stopped when I started doing more striker training, because I'm like, this is easy, it's going in the goals. I've done this, you know, all these times today already, just to get consistent at it. So it's about, you know, I kind of fixed it with training. That's how I fix a lot of things, is just training, because, you know, a lot of my play is based on my mechanics. So if my mechanics are good, my play is generally good. I'll just position off, like I position kind of muscle memory. So if my mechanics aren't on point, I just need to work on them. So I'm just working on those at the moment. But it depends on you, what you're slumping with. If you're slumping with something different, maybe let me know in the comments, I can try and help you. But there's a lot of things that can cause a slump, and generally it's a mindset issue. Sometimes it's not, sometimes it's something external that you can't control. But if it's something external you can't control, and even if it's a mindset issue, you just have to figure out what it is that's bothering you. You know, deep breath, 1, 2, 3. What the heck is bothering me? And then figure out what's bothering you, and then get back to it, you know, get back on the horse. Because you're not always going to play at your best level. That's just not going to happen. So you have to figure out a way that even when you're not playing at your best, how are you going to play to make up for the fact that you're not playing at your best? So this is the tough one. It's really tough, and it differs from person to person. So, you know, for me, it's just do more training, less games. That's just how it is for me. You know, I don't want to do too much training, because if I do too much, I won't have game sense. I'll start losing a bit of game sense. So I still want to play scrims, still do that sort of stuff, just to keep my game sense fresh. But I need to start playing a bit less before 20 games, just because it's going to wear me out otherwise. I don't have the brain capacity to play Rocket League at this level that much. So recently, I found I could play fast again. Like I woke up at like in Angola, I woke up at like 4 a.m. or something, or 3 a.m. I was just like annoyed that I woke up at 3 a.m. So then I went and played Rocket League, and I just played super quickly. And that's how I want to play in tournament. It's how I like playing, how I used to play a lot before I got my arm injury and all that. So like, you know, I've been affected by an arm injury, I've been affected by my condition with my head. So yeah, I can still play at this top level here in OS. So, you know, there's something in my mindset that does work well. But when it's not working well, I definitely notice it, because I've got these problems that I've got that are outside of the game. So for me, I have to figure out my mindset to be pretty much perfect. Otherwise, you know, I'm not functioning at what I need to. So if my brain's only functioning at, you know, say 60%, right? If my brain's only functioning at that level, if I have a negative mindset or something going wrong in my head, it's going to affect that even more. So, you know, you want to get the maximum out of what you have. You don't want to have anything holding you back. You know, if you've got 100%, right? What if 50% of your brain you're using in the wrong way? You're losing half of your play that you could be having. So that's just how I view it. Like, I've had to learn the hard way how to get my headset right. You know, I used to be really negative, and it didn't help. It doesn't help your play, it doesn't help you improve, it doesn't help anything. So it's all about figuring out what's going to help you get out of your slump, figure out what's going on with you, and I wish you the best of luck with it. I'm going to keep practicing today, because that's what I'm doing today. I'm not going to play any games, and I wish you guys a wonderful day.